typically sadhanas, meditation sessions, etc., teachings, retreats on a daily basis and on a sadhana basis. So if you're on retreat and you do 4 2-hour sessions, for example, before every session, before every retreat, there's always may this benefit all beings. There's this relative, or it could be ultimate bodhicitta if you can just allow your natural compassion. And there's a sense of inclusivity because the sentient beings are here, even if it's only in your mind, they are here. And so I don't know if it's useful for you, but for me, it gives a kind of great motivation, uncontrived. It's just tuning into your natural motivation before the sessions or at the beginning of the session to sincerely wish to benefit all beings. And of course, our refuge is awareness. We've stripped everything off of that. The Buddha Dharma Sangha is awareness. No more iconography. You don't even need the mantras. You don't need visualizations, posters, pictures, etc. So refuge and bodhicitta, they're unique here in our approach, but I don't want you to perhaps, completely abandon or neglect these things, because we can get stagnated in self-absorption, thinking about our life and what we're going to do and evaluating ourselves and all this stuff. And we don't really come out of that until we think of all sentient beings. So this relative bodhicitta lends itself to non-duality, we could say, and ultimate compassion. And of course, they have many mantras like Zemkin Dandu, Janchup Zemkin Du. When you hear that Janchup, it's typically associated with the compassion aspect. Making sense? Any comments, questions about that part? And you can do it in a form of a mantra. I would just say prioritize the spaciousness and oneness of the mind. So this natural state. Mm-hmm. And then typically in here, of course, we can say we become aware of awareness. The knowingness that permeates all experiences. And this is kind of dormant at first. When you first get pointed to it, your conditioned experiences are heavy. They weigh more than awareness. The thinking mind, the emotional mind is more attractive. It's more vivid. So as we begin to familiarize with what we call awareness, the pure cognizant basis of all experiences, then it's truly like we're coming from a little piece of ice into the whole body of water. The conditioning feels like it's here, and the body's energy throughout the key points of the body. And so you don't have to be stuck behind your eyes. You don't have to be stuck where you can feel it. You're kind of feeling like you're in the head. Many indications for that. Or we feel we're in the body, we're really isolated into the body. Imagine if it's true, if this is really like a dream, look at all the rest of your mind out here. But it's so subtle that it can easily be kind of trampled upon or overlooked. We can compartmentalize into course consciousness, the activity, the movement. So it's very easy in this approach. We just introduce this kind of metacognition, this aspect of the mind that typically goes unrecognized. And thus, you have the first two noble truths. We introduce that, and then we have ways to familiarize with that, outer, inner, and secret ways. Some are very obvious, like fet, or look at the one who's thinking. Turn back and look at the one who's thinking. Use awareness to cut through thoughts and emotions. We have all these techniques. Inquiry discussions are more related to the inner. Effortless abiding is a very powerful way to get used to your whole mind. Because if I sit here with my eyes open like this, and all of a sudden I start thinking about something, that knowingness is permeating my body, crunching into the thinking, my emotions reacting to the thinking. That knowingness has to be like space, pervading and being totally pure. So I could be locked in the emotion, or I could be in that knowingness. And when you see a Buddha, maybe you run into Buddha Sakyamuni, or Guru Rinpoche, or somebody. By the way, let me know. Well, the Buddha is just resting in that cognizant aspect, that spaciousness. Body's still digesting, emotions still happening, thoughts still happening, but the orientation is different. Making sense, right? Any questions about this? Many of you have heard that before. So it's just a kind of reminder. And then what happens? Yishin in the last session was saying, well, what happens after my programming, my mental, emotional, habitual tendencies exhaust themselves? What happens when they come off of me? Anybody want to take a guess? Well, you're free. You're totally free. It's that easy. We can either be in the conditioning or not.